In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the cooling hose flange in this Volkswagen Beetle. Let's get into it. I'm going to take this hose off right here. This is for the secondary air injection. Just pop this off right here. And then right here, you just squeeze those clips and this comes right off. Now I'm going to remove the air box and the snorkel for ease of access and for visibility. It's going to make it a lot easier to see what's going on. This is optional. You don't necessarily have to take all of this off. Using some hose clamp pliers, I'm going to take this hose off right here. Just move the hose clamp. You can wiggle the hose back and forth. And slide it out. And this hose clamp, we're going to move this one as well. Pop that off the air box. I'm going to disconnect the connector for the mass airflow sensor. There's a little lock underneath. You just push on that tab there and then it slides out. Right here there's two Phillips head screws. You want to take those screws out. This vehicle, they're already loosened. And this just flips up and comes out. Disconnect this connector right here. On the back there's a little tab. Just push down on the tab, slide it out, and then pull it out of the retainer and just set that aside. This hose clamp right here we want to move using the hose clamp pliers. Slide that to the side. And you can pull that off. Pull this hose out of that retainer. This hose goes over here. We want to take that hose out. Just twist it back and forth. Just twist that back and forth and pull that out. And this hose clamp right here. Just use these hose clamp pliers. Loosen that up. And just take that snorkel and slide it out. Disconnect the connector right here, just push down on the tab. You might need a pick or a screwdriver. And you just push that tab down. Disconnect that. Now there's a little retainer right here. You want to pull that retainer out. You can use a pick or a screwdriver. Now pull the sensor out. And there's going to be an O-ring in there. You want to pull that out as well. Now we're going to take this clip off. Just use the hose clamp pliers. Okay, there we go. With that loose, then just take the hose, give it a twist. Or you might need a pick to get in there. If that doesn't work, just get a pick underneath there. Loosen up the seal. And just carefully pull that hose off. Just like that. And slide the clamp out of the way. Now this clamp, do the same. Just use the hose clamp pliers. And slide it off. Next, there's two hoses on the lower part of this housing. We're going to take those off. Just use some hose clamp pliers, loosen up those hose clamps and move them. I'm going to start with the front one first. Go down. That's good. And the back one. Just lower it down. Loosen those up with the pick. And slide the hose down. Take that one off. You can slide that one forward. So so you don't get them mixed up. And the second one. And slide that off. Some coolant. You might want to put a coolant bucket underneath, a catch bucket. There you go, those are all disconnected. There's a pipe that goes over here that's metal, and there's a bracket that's attached to the bolt that we needed to take out. There should be a 10mm nut on there. You want to take that nut off. Then you can pull this pipe and just slide it up, and we can access the bolt right there. Now use the 10mm socket. Take that out. It just slides out. Underneath, there's another bolt. Just use the same 10mm socket. Take that out, and then this whole assembly will come right out. And just take some brake parts cleaner and just clean up where the gasket is going to seal to the engine. Right there. If you need to, you can take a razor blade and just take off any excess buildup. But this looks pretty good. Now I'm going to transfer this over from the old one. This is just a plug. Just pull this clip out. Just like that. Grab the plug and just slide that out. Just like that. There's an O-ring in there. Pull that off. Get a new O-ring. Yeah, just put a new O-ring on. You can put a little silicone on there. And just slide that in place. Put the new clip in. Now slide this flange in place. And we'll take the bolts, get those started. And line the other one up. And we'll just snug these up, not too tight. That's good. You can line this pipe up over the stud right there and then put that nut back on if you have that. Now put the lower hoses on, get those lined up. Get those both on, and then I'll move the clamps and move the clamp up. There we go. It's lined up. I'll take the other hoses, line those up. And move the clamp in position. Do the same for this one. Get that in the right position, and then we'll slide it on together. That's good right there. Now put a new O-ring on, just like that. You can take some silicone lubricant and just lubricate the O-ring, or some O-ring lubricant. Slide that in position, just like that. And take this clip and just slide it in place. It's good like that. Take the connector, line it up, and lock it in place. Now line the snorkel up, get it in position. Loosen up the hose clamps. Slide that over. Make sure the hose clamp is lined up properly. Might have to adjust it. That's good. And line this hose up. Move the hose clamp. That's good. Plug this hose in over here. This one's going to go over here. And just move the clamp. This connector is going to connect right here. Lock it down. Push down the retainer for the wire. Now line the airbox up. Push it down, make sure that you're not crushing the wires, and line the snorkel up. Just like that. Take the connector, line that up, lock it down. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, just tighten the screw down for the airbox. Right there and right there. And take this hose, line this up on the airbox, lock it down, and on the air pump, lock it down. At this point, you're going to want to top off your vehicle with the appropriate coolant. Run the vehicle for about 15 minutes, monitoring to make sure it's not overheating. Then after you let it cool, adjust the level accordingly.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.